Welcome back, everybody. Here on JustDaZack was my mission to show you guys a hopefully interesting video game almost every single day. This time, we are going to have a look at Warsim, a Realm of Aslona. So, what is Warsim? Warsim is a ASCII text-based management game, procedurally generated, pretty much everything, where you can have the wildest races, where you are the king of a fantasy kingdom and, well, have to simulate your wow, how well you conquer and canker somehow as well this fantasy world itself. And frankly, it sounds very basic. It is. It's not a visually stunning game. This is just what we see here pretty much in the whole game. This is very old school. But the interesting thing is, this is one of these just one more turn kind of games. This is one of these games that I, started to play, I don't know, around just 11 p.m. Can't sleep. Let's have a quick look into this. And then I turned around and said, you know what? It's finally time. I'm going to end this game. Oh, how late is it? Oh, shit. It's 6 a.m. in the morning. This is one of these kind of games. Very simple, but insanely addictive. Very intriguing. Quite a lot of fun. So before we start into the game, I received a key by the developer himself. He contacted me, which I found very interesting. I actually thought first of that was a scam because he said, hey, I saw this post of you. Here's a key to my game. And then I looked at the game and saw this is a game which currently still has, but or at least when I looked at it, had over 1,000 Steam reviews with an overall rating of overwhelmingly positive. And I thought, well, that is already in my book a successful game. But no, this was real. So first off, thank you very much to Hugh Millward, to this beautiful game, which I'm full transparency here. Again, I received a key, but frankly, I really want to show you guys this because this deserves this overall overwhelmingly positive rating, in my opinion. This is very intriguing. This is fun. But now I've almost talked for way too much time. How about we actually jump into the game? You can see here in the menu, this is our game. This is one of these games where we tip in the menus and we're gonna see what happens. So there's scores as well. Frankly, I don't care about scores. You can influence the extras. There's an interesting options menu. And again, we put this in, but doing the 4, we can disable the ASCII, which is going to get rid of that. If you want to play this completely text-based, if you want to play like that, sure. No, I'm going to go with this, though. Full screen, a few other options, that's fine. But now, let's start a new game. So, what do we do first? Well, here we decide what our world will look like. This choice completely changed the game, so we should choose wisely. First off, we could select the races. We can also completely customize our own game. There's preset packs, as you can see there, but I want to go completely random because I kind of hope I can show you guys something very cool. And as you can see, apparently pulled from a list of 94,887,852 races to make a unique world. So just to give you a taste, in one of my worlds, I had immortal, I think it was immortal evulate, or God, sorry, my English is all over the place. So I had foxes. These foxes were, first off, immortal for somehow, I don't know, magic, but they were also advanced. They took the evolutionary approach. They're already foxes that were advanced like this, and then they become immortal. And these things, luckily, were very friendly because they were so strong that I would have never stood a chance. And there's arena, which I'm going to show you guys later on. And every time one of these immortal foxes was in my arena, I knew I should bet on those foxes because pretty much nothing could stand a chance against these. In my last and current game that I'm playing, for example, one of the races, which luckily I'm also friends with, is a race of elephants, like elephant people, essentially, that are also really strong. But these elephant people also have wings and can fly, as far as I know. And these are just one of these many choices. You can also go with classic orcs, but how about we go with random races and see what this game gives us. Allow me to reroll the random races. Leave it up to fate. Now let's go. You can also choose the time limit, or we can choose. I'm gonna go with a long game. Why not? I think you can also. I think the game gives you the option to buy later on like immortality potions for your character. So it's pretty much up to you whenever you want to end your game. And as you can see, we also have the option to go with a music menu. We can go with a classic theme here. I hope you guys can hear this, by the way. Very classic indeed. We can go with an 8-bit theme. But this is too loud in my book, honestly. We can go with a menu theme, which is kind of ominous and almost creepy in my book. Or we could go with some calm theme and, of course, new music. But I think I want to go with the menu theme. I kind of like this obvious, ominous, kind of soundtrack, by the way. I don't know what was wrong with my English today. I hope it's still fun listening to me, and I really hope I can show you guys this. So let's go with the settings. Let's go. I'm going to be a king. I'm going to go make my own name, which is always going to be JustDaZack. There we go. Do you want to make your own kingdom name or have any randomly generated? I'm gonna go with Aslona, the default one, sure. And then we can set the difficulty. Casual, easy, normal, hard, solid, insane. I'm gonna be lazy and just say normal. It's gonna be fine. Normal mode. You are the ruler of the kingdom of Aslona. Once a great and mighty empire fighting against the powerful rebellion of Faradal, the Kingslayer, and the hordes of the bandits loyal to Fëanor, overlord of the bandit horde, as well as several minor bandit gangs who pester your lands. The world is vast and complex. There's much to see and do, and little time to waste. From the fabled ancient lands to the blood-soaked arena, these lands call to be united under the flag of Aslona. So this setup, what we just read, is pretty much always the same, but even though this is the same, things are already going to influence different from game to game. For example, these rebellions and the bandits have been different in my approaches in my several playthroughs so far. Sometimes the rebellion was pretty much over at the beginning. Sometimes the rebels were so strong that I had quite a difficult time early on with these guys. So even those things are already going to be procedurally generated in a different way. So let's just move on and let's generate this world. Goblins are also a thing. Goblins are always a thing. Independent kingdoms. Colors, let's see what we gain. These are bronze-based territory. Interesting. So these are already gonna be like the different things. Wasteland High Kingdoms, Petty Kings. It sounds also. Colors are slot, bronze space. Substellar captains. I really want to see what those are. Circle of the Cloud Protofolks. Council elders. Oh, we're gonna have some interesting races here, I think. Brown Tyranny. Alright. Hector's Brigand Warbands. So even the different warbands will be generated. Adventuring companies. There's quite a bit. So the world is full of mystery and wonder. There are many peoples in this world. They are men, the Wasteland Elves, okay, Confused Edge Mutants, alright, Bronze-Based Homunculi, alright, the Cloud Protofolk, the Water Ashtaki, and of course Goblins and Demons. Alright, very interesting. So this is the world that has been generated. Now we have to choose, how did we actually become king? The annals of history remember well your rise to the throne. How did it happen? Well, our father could be the previous ruler who was assassinated. I think the first time I went random at my very first game, I just was a healthy merchant and won the game. I won the throne in a tournament to find the new ruler by strength. I think it was by... Is it here, by the way? My father was the previous ruler who turned mad and was jailed. I won the throne... Yeah, there we go. I won the throne in a bed with the previous ruler. That was fun. But I'm going to leave it up to fate. Let's go with 13. Let's see what happens. So the previous king had run the realm into depth and crossed paths with you. A wealthy... No! We actually get the thing that I got at the very first time. That's... Sure. A wealthy gambling opportunist. You offered your entire wealth of gold against the title of king with a coin flip. The desperate king took the risk and lost, and then surrendered the realm to you in a move that became the talk of the realm. Well, we start with 12,500 extra gold from our personal reserves, because we're rich. Unfortunately, the public is, of course, not too much of a fan of that, so our public opinion is -15, which is not that good. Public opinion is quite important. And 1/3 of our soldiers and peasants have deserted and joined the rebels. That's also pretty bad, actually. So high risk, high reward, essentially. You are invited to the royal crowning ceremony, where you can learn of your newly inherited realm. Of course, you are the ruler of this kingdom and can also ignore the ceremony completely. I'm going to go at the ceremony, because how exactly the custom of this ceremony is always also always a little bit different. So let's go. You enter your throne room for the first time as the ruler of Aslona. Crowds of people gather to see their new king. As you take a moment to observe the room, the High General of Aslona approaches you. Well met to you, my lord. I shall now crown you by the law of bets, the new king of Aslona. Our last king was a prolific gambler, and you a wealthy merchant. You bet a coin flip all of your gold for this title. You win, and so now this crown is yours. I pray you rule well. You are now the king of Aslona. Long may you reign. Now, as our questionably minded ancestors once did, someone with a fart in their belly, release it now. Sometimes the custom here is, I don't know, to squash or hit with a hammer like a squid and something, or like punch a goblin in the face. It's completely random. I love that. Well, a courtier approaches, bows, and then farts. Your general nods in approval. Well, that's the custom. When a new king has been crowned, that's it, sure. And that brings our ceremony to an end. I will now tell you of the state of this realm. This is important. Aslona's 5 territorial holdings make a threat to others. The kingdom's personal army consists of 333 peasant workers, 133 soldiers, and 5 royal knights who serve your cause. That's actually pretty bad, because a third of our things joined the rebels. Now, that's all for military matters. For the realm's finances, you were able to preserve 2,000 in the kingdom's coffers. You also have 3,473 in the bank reserves. And of course, your own coffers of wealth, which is the extra gold. Okay, so we could now talk to our counselor as well, which is essentially a guidance thing if you are new to the game. I'm going to skip it because I am totally not an expert, but I know at least this beginning part. Okay, so let's skip this. And this is the main meat of the game. This is our kingdom menu. Looks intimidating at first because it is a lot of menus, and all of these have a lot of sub-menus. But if you go step by step, that's easy. And again, this is always where it comes back to. So this is our kingdom. This is our overview. As you can see in the top left, we have the current year of year 132. We see our gold, our men, our lands, what the public opinion is, and the years remaining. We can ignore the years remaining. It's essentially these stats that matter the most. And you can see here and current year. So essentially, this is also like a turn-based kingdom management where we go from year to year. So what do we want to do first? I'm going to go and instead of going down these individual menus, I'm going to show you all of those, at least most of those. I'm going to show you guys what I do usually. Again, I played only a couple of rounds and never too far. I think my uttermost was like, I had like 10 or I think maybe 12 lands. Trust me, I think there is an achievement or like an unconditional win condition if you have 25,000 lands or something like this. So this game is pretty much also designed around in pretty much almost unlimited gameplay. And you can go completely haywire on this. So I only saw the absolute briefest thing of this game, and I frankly I already played a couple of hours. So this game has so much content if you're up for that. That's, of course, highly subjective. I'm going to go with this. Visit the throne room, because we are now the new king, and of course, people want to talk to us. So I'm going to do this. Click the 7. There's our throne room. We have a different choices here. This already tells us if we have a chancellor who could also pretty much automatically receive and handle the visitors. So that's an option. You can automate quite a bit in this game if you want to, and these guys can have different stats. You can have a xenophobe, a dungeoneer, a kind-hearted, a military guy, a goblin friend, or a many-grubber who will never spend any money. So you have options here as well. We are in our throne room. What can we do? Well, we can, of course, receive all the visitors. We can upgrade the throne room to host entertainers. That's a thing. There's gonna be a lot of musicians that come to us. We can upgrade the throne room, for example, to make it larger. We could also install a trapdoor there, because why not? If we have a visitor, just have them fall down the trapdoor. Is that a smart thing? Will people like that? I don't know, but you can do that. It's this kind of game. We're gonna get to the laws later on as well. We can force our entire kingdom to just wear hats and something like that. By the degree of the king. This game can really allow you to go completely haywire. If you're up for that, it's a lot of theater of mind here. We can also manage the number of visitors. I actually never looked into that, if I'm honest. I tell everyone to go away and no longer want any visitors. I like to send away some of the throne room visitors. Set the maximum number of throne room visitors allowed in each year. Nope, the more the better, because these are always chances. Set the rules for who you want to visit a throne room. That's also interesting. So criminal cases backing, as you can see, there's a lot of things. I'm not going to change anything right now. Usually, I don't really like to have gamblers here. You can earn some money, but usually that's not my thing. So customization is a lot of thing here. Call a meeting of the Council of Aslona. Our council is gonna be right now only our diplomat, which is this old Kroll guy, and our high marshal. Later on, you can have quite a few more council guys who can help you and give you tips on how to proceed with the current state of the kingdom. Revisit the tutorial. We could do this, or we could just retire from ruling. I mean, we've become the king. Maybe we said, you know what, by just a coin flip, we have proved the world enough. We're going to retire now. But of course, we're not going to do this. So we have 18 visitors right now. Let's start with a few right now. Send in the first one. You are visited by a particularly ugly blacksmith who enters the throne room flustered with 7 boys to boot. He says, "These no good little bastards have been eating my food and wasting time on my farm for far too long. They're old enough to fight now. Send them off to somewhere. Turn them into men. Take them from me. A gold coin ahead, I want them gone." So, and we already have some options. To the dungeons with them all, if we start with below. Just, imprison everyone. Which can be good if we can also be a cruel king. And later turn them all into slave warriors or something. To the dungeons with just him. We can also just refuse the offer. Or, forcefully enlist the boys and pay nothing. Or, we pay this guy 7 gold and we probably get 7 child soldiers. That's a pretty good deal. Let's pay these 7 golds and we have 7 soldiers now in our army. Thanks for taking these bastards off my hands. May they serve you better than they have me, he says before storming out. For this time kind of medieval thing, doesn't sound too wrong, honestly. So we have 7 soldiers, and as when we started off, we had 1/3 of our entire army leaving us and joining the rebels. We really need soldiers right now, trust me. So, the visitor, what do we have? You are visited by a homeless butcher who claims one of your soldiers whacked him with a stick and broke one of his teeth. Could be good. We also have to keep in mind, this is important. People can lie in this game. So, there's a lot of randomization going on as well. Sometimes these people tell the truth. Sometimes they lie to you. So we never 100% know what the outcome is. I guess if you have enough experience, you do. But right now, I don't. I could refuse his request, and he could just say, and leave. Worst case is, he's actually gonna be telling around that I refused his request and that my soldiers are basically allowed everything, which could reduce my public opinion. I could pay him the gold and he would just laugh at me that he fooled me. I can also pay him the gold and hopefully he tells around what a nice king I am and I gain more public opinion. I'm actually going to hope for that because right now 15 gold isn't much. And let's see. Yeah. Doesn't really do anything. Your order reparations be paid. The gold is accepted and then the homeless butcher grins and leaves your court overjoyed. Could be good. Maybe I did not get anything negative. I at least didn't get, but unfortunately I didn't get anything positive. So that's the trade-off. But hey, it was only 15 gold. Next visitor. Let's see. Oh, you're visited by a jester's apprentice who says, "Hello, Lord. I am mean green funny machine. Me make you laugh." So, by the way, if you could tell, this is goblin. Goblins are always a thing in this game. And goblins are... Goblin society is the thing. At the beginning of those, they're pretty much slaves. As you can see here, have him taken to the Goblin slaver. I would gain 1 gold and probably 1 Goblin slave or so. We could also just say, I don't want to hear a joke, but for now, let's listen to the joke. Maybe it's a good one. Me hide in shadows and scare human for fun. Them scream and run like scaredy cats. He seems to be awaiting response to the joke. I think that was an okay joke, everyone. The Goblin grins, nods, and leaves. And goblins are weird in this world. You can enslave them. At the beginning they are. They make pretty cheap soldiers for your army. So that could be a good trade-off. You can also try, I think, long-term to make friend or be seen as a goblin friend, which also has some benefits. So there's always a trade-off in this world. Goblins are also weird. I once had a goblin arriving at my court saying he's a hero of his folk or something like that. And he had this quest to meet the ruler of Aslona, which is us. And, you know, if you could have 1 gold coin as a proof of that. I said, you know what, sure, if that's the quest of your goblin village, here, I have a gold coin. The goblin ate the gold coin and, you know, actually, God, what's the term here? He suffocated on that gold coin that was stuck in his neck. So he couldn't breathe and died. I don't know what the goblin witches, if they heard any bad rumors, but that happened. Goblins are not necessarily the smartest in here. It's kind of a trade-off. Anyway, let's go with the next visitor right now. You're visited by a small goblin. He says something in a goblin tongue and hands you a gold coin. Well, we could also enslave this, but I'm just gonna take the gold coin, sure. You take the gold coin from the goblin, who grins and runs away. You soon realize the coin is in fact a painted pebble. Could be worse. Sometimes people hand you a gold coin and it's just, you know, painted on shit or something like that. Send the next visitor. What else? You're visited by a butcher who asks to join your army as his farmland was ruined by goblins. Yep. Sure, if you want to join, we have 1 passion in our army. Sure. The butcher begins laughing and says, thank you, you're the best, and then jogs out to collect his equipment. Nice. Well, your guards bring forward a man who is accused of speaking highly of Faradil the Kinslayer. Oh, the rebels. That's not good. We're gonna ask him to explain himself. How does he react? It wasn't me. What does the guard say? Your guard informs you, well, I didn't really see anything myself. Well, it's kind of hard. So the guard says he didn't see anything, and the guy says he wasn't it. Sometimes the people are just, no, for the rebels. I feel like executing would be too much. To the dungeon with him, it's kind of a gamble if he really was the thing. I'm gonna try and release him. We don't really have any evidence. Okay, the man leaves and you later discover that the man was not a rebel. That's good. Rumors of your wisdom spread plus 1 public opinion. That's pretty good. We don't want to lose more public opinion because that's not good right now. And the less our public opinion is, the more of our soldiers are probably going to join the rebels, which is not good. You're visited by an old man who asks if you could spare a few coins as he has come on hard times. Sure, I have 5 gold coins. There we go. The old man smiles and bows before saying, blessed is the man Zack Just. Thank you. Okay, sure. Next one. Let's go. Oh, didn't I? There we go. You're visited by an old man who asks if you could spare a few coins as his family is starving. Again. Yeah, I have 21. There we go. The old man smiles and bows his head. He says the same. Long may you reign. Okay, sure. So many beggars. You are visited by a drunk man who says, hey, I was drinking and I thought of a really funny joke. Do you want to hear it? Yeah, that's sure. Wilder men sometimes fight naked. Though given what the cold does to their genitals, they look more like wilder women. I see what you're going for, but frankly, that joke was terrible. The drunk man says, thank you for your time before leaving. Yeah, wasn't the best joke. Let's go for the next one. You are visited by a man who requests to join your army. Yeah. Enlist 1 new soldier. Nice. Next one. Your guards bring forward a man who is accused of robbing several caravans. Oh, that's not good. He should explain himself. I don't work for the bandits, but I do not abide by the laws of Aslona either. So even though he's a bandit, he essentially already said that he did it. What does the guard say? His guilt is written on his face. So, well, if he stole, we're gonna execute him. Shock! The man does not flinch as he's quickly killed on the spot. -1 general bandit level in the realm. That's good. So we took care of that. And people like this. So +2 public opinion. Very good for us. We need that. Next visitor. You're visited by an insane tavern goer who wants to join your army because he wants to impress a girl from the village. Not sure what to think about insane guys, but I really need more people in my army, so sure, one peasant. The insane tavern goer begins tearing up with happiness, before wiping the tears up, smiling, and leaving to collect his equipment. Sure. Okay, next visitor. Come on, I'm the good king. Everyone is loud. A grinning goblin arrives in call and says, flip coin, and then looks at you. So, this is one of the gambling things. So, we can actually flip a coin with him, and a chance to win gold here if you want. I wouldn't be surprised if later on you can maybe even win like magical items or other treasures or like something else. But so far I found this is a minigame. If you want a little bit of gold, that's fine. We can also ask about the rules. There's different games, but usually I'm gonna be with like no thank you. The goblin bows to you and leaves. I'm not too much of a fan of these gambling things if they happen in my court. I should probably in the options menu to say that these people are not allowed. But this game has so many options, and we didn't encounter much of these rare ones so far, which is fine. I think at my very first time I became a king, I had people, I had a goblin who spoke like super good English and in a fluent tone to me and giving me a proposal of like a goblin caravan or goblin. So he wanted money. And I thought, you know, super intelligent goblin, I'm gonna give him money. And I must have had, either he lied to me, or whatever he tried failed, but I lost a lot of gold there. So that's one of these events that can happen as well. But yeah, let's go with the next visitor. You are visited by a crazy person who says the maggot is best in the hate of others. To me? Thank him for his words. To the dungeon with him. Remove him from... Yeah, let's just remove him from court, whatever. The man struggles with the guards and he's thrown out. Whatever. Minor event happens. You are visited by an old man who asks if you could spare a few coins as he and his family had to resort to eating their family dog. Well, that's pretty good. You know what? Let's try 40 and hope that this is going to improve my public opinion. It doesn't happen. Bless you with all my heart, my king. Dang it! Next visitor. You're visited by a man who claims to have been cursed by a witch. He begs you for your help and says he requires the elixir of pigment to cure him. Alright, that's actually a thing too. Sometimes a witch is like, oh man, one of your soldiers hit me. I want gold in repayment or you're gonna regret this. And if you give the witch a bunch of gold, she's actually going to bless you. Even though I haven't figured out what the blessing does. Yeah, have an alchemist brew the elixir. Let's see what happens. The curse is lifted and the man thanks you for your help. Cool. Rumor of your kindness spread plus 1 public opinion. That's nice. Okay, 2 more visitors. Let's go. You're visited by an armed man who says he wishes to fight for you, but must... Yeah, 20 gold. There we go. 1 more soldier. Nice. Next visitor. You're visited by an insane townsman who shouts, I am alive, but from where did I come? Where did I go when I die? You would know, O great king. Tell me. You shall find out. Kill him. No one knows such things. Begone. To the dungeon with him. I don't know. Begone. The man frowns, then bows to you and leaves. Crazy people. Well, you're the king. We are the king. A lot of stuff happens. So, usually, when my turn starts, this is the first thing I do. Let's actually do the second thing. That's very, very important. We are going to explore the realm, number 12. And every turn, so far, you always have 3 chances to explore the lands. And how do we do this? Well, we explore to the north, the east, the south, and the west. And there's a lot of things that we can find. We can actually find whole towns which we can explore completely, where we can go into different districts, where we can go into different shops, taverns, I don't know, brothels, slave markets in these things. And in every, like in the tavern, we can talk to like 4 or 5 different peoples. We can drink alcohol. We can challenge other champions in the arena with our champions. Towns have a lot to explore there. And frankly, I've only scratched the surface because I was so overwhelmed when it happened. They are also different. We do know, if we talk to different people early on, that in the southern lands, there's demons. There's a demon portal, and sooner or later, the demons are gonna arrive and try to conquer our kingdom. So there's a little bit of a time limit, and until that happens, happened to me yet, but we need to get our kingdom up to par, need to be strong before the demon invasion begins. So that's a thing sometimes. And we get some hints throughout the games. At court, there can also be like demon worshippers with like a 666 tattooed on their head that tell us some nonsense. And yeah, quite a few other things can happen as well. In the northern lands, I've I think I found like a slave market and more bandits. Usually I try, because I think this is supposed to be the beginning area of the Western lands. So let's go with that. I'm going to explore here. Denland is one of the most peaceful places in all the realms. Little more than farmland and workers, and hardly any room for trouble at all. The land is fertile and the folk are mostly happy. As you can see, we have 3 chances to explore. You have yet to explore here, press 1 to explore. Let's go. Well, you walk for a while, but find nothing. That sucks. Let's try again. Okay, we found the Montfort Mine, and we can explore one more time. Ooh, let's see. You see the envoy of a foreign king, whose banner you do not recognize. You approach and explain that you too are ruler of this land and ask him his business. He claims that he is passing through the realm in search of noble knights to fight for his cause. He will hire a single one of your knights if you so permit. Sell one of your own knights to him for 1,500 gold. This is interesting. Knights are very strong and powerful, and also sometimes get to your court and say they want to go out questing and save the princess and fight dragons and so on, which can be good or bad for us. And usually I think a knight is worth like 300 to 400 gold. So selling one of a knight for 1,500 gold I think is a net positive, so I'm allowing that. You order one of your knights to join the foreign king. The king thanks you and has one of his people hand you the gold. Interesting thing, so we have more gold. Let's go to this Montfort mine, which is owned by the Harlow Mining Company, which we just explored. So the Montfort mine. You come upon Montfort mine. A large mine complex marked with spears prodding out of the ground. The place is filled with miners chipping away and piling ore into small baskets. You're informed this mine is controlled by the Harlow Mining Company, which is a company run by peasant miners. So we could actually just straight up attack the Harlow Mining Company, which currently has 350 men, and try to conquer that completely, make it 100% our own. We could also just buy the mine for 35,000 gold, which right now at the start is a lot of gold. We could also just straight up demand tribute. We can also, for example, speak to a random miner. Let's see, what do they say? I heard my thump bad earlier. Caught it on a jagged rock. Let's talk to another one. I can barely breathe in here, but what else am I going to do? Okay, let's talk to another one. Pick, pick, pick. Sleep, sleep, sleep. Life is good. Well, that sounds nice. What does another one say? I'd wager I could hit harder with this pickaxe than a knight with a sword, you know. Interesting. We can also speak to the master of the mine. Let's do that. So what can we do here? We can learn more about the mine. We can learn more of the company or about the west area in general. We can also ask how much ore there is in the mine. So apparently there's 10,680 ore, which I think in my past adventures this always had much, much more. I guess if you're a more experienced player, you can get more and understand more of this number. I don't really know if this is much or not. So far I had never had an empty mine, but that might be important later on as well. And again, we can't ask him directly to and demand tribute. I'm actually going to do this. I'm the king of this area. I want some tribute. The master of the mine arrives to greet you and hears your request. He agrees that from now on you shall receive a tribute from the mines as he does not want to cross a king. But he doesn't seem happy about the request. That's fine, but now you will now receive an annual tribute from Montfort Mine. We need money, especially at the beginning, so I think this is good. Let's actually ask him about the mine itself. Montfort's been ours for quite some time. Good mine. Lots of ore inside. Wouldn't swap it for any other mine around here, that's for sure. Interesting. How about the mining company? We formed out some small independent mining groups and then hired lots of locals. It's a good operation and we all get paid well. Nice. Let's ask a bit more about the West. The West is our home, but I won't ignorantly claim it's the best place as I haven't been north, east or south. I will say, however, that the West, or at least where I have been, is a very, very nice region. Yeah, the West is kind of the beginning area, even though if we go back, we can see... Seize the tribute. No, I'm gonna go back. That of this area, let's exit again, we have only explored and found 1 out of 40 places. And I think at best I had like maybe 6, 7, 8, because you also often don't find anything. I, for example, found a magic theater, which there's a wizard and you can watch a magic wizard show there. That's the thing. You can also buy the Magic Theater if you have a lot of money. I found a well where you can throw in coins and wish for something. But so far there was probably a guy just left at the bottom of the well who snatched all the coins you threw in there. I found an apple kind of farm, or a farm, which produces magical apples, which in this world there are certain magical apples which are essentially combat drugs. So I could buy some of these magical apples, and every time I sent my army against opponents, I could give them magical apples to feed to make them stronger, to buff them up. And I found a certain wandering monk, which I always assumed was a demon, so I just killed him. So that's the thing. I also found a village that, for example, allowed me to hire some free peasants every turn. That's pretty good as well. And this is only the Western Lands. Again, I found a town which you could fully explore. This village you can explore. There's a lot. And as we saw here with the king that offered us 1,500 gold for a single night, there's a lot of random encounters that can happen here as well. So frankly, this world feels insanely big. But for now, let's exit this. I think I was able to show you explore the realm. Next up, what I usually do is visit the Grand Arena. What can we do at the Grand Arena? Well, we can watch people fight, in the arena to death. But mostly what we can do there is bet on those fights. And early on, I found that to be the best and most reliable way to earn money. But before we do this, I'm going to do this. I'm going to change laws of my land. Let's go to 5 and let's see what are my current laws. Your scribe is brought before you. He unravels a fresh scroll eagerly awaiting a new lands and edicts. Well, let's see. Taxes and subsidies. What can we do here? So we could remove the gambling tax. Apparently there is one. And that allows us a higher betting limit. If we have the gambling tax enabled, we gain a certain amount, like 250 to 350 gold kinder per turn every year. A little bit of money, that's nice. I'm actually going to remove it for 2 reasons. First off, I'm going to do this because this increases our public opinion at least by 1. And we really need public opinion right now. Second off, it actually tells us here up to 220 gold per land each year. Oh, per land. It's actually good. It could be like 1,000. We have 5 lands. That's better than I thought. But the interesting thing is, it's also, again, as it said, we have a higher betting limit ourselves, for example, at the arena. And again, as I said, gambling in the arena is a very good moneymaker early on, at least in my experience so far. Again, I'm a very beginner of this game, keep that in mind. So we could also large popularity board and land tax, subsidized arena, higher betting max, cost 1k per year. I don't have that. Subsidized militia, cost 1k per year. More militia recruits, we don't can this. We can also just have a tax. Tax people's tax. More tax. Sounds good, gives us money. People won't like this. And usually I think I don't do this, but I'm going to do and the land tax right now because our popularity, unfortunately, is so low. And I don't want too many of my soldiers and people go and join the rebels right now. That could break our neck early on. So I'm going to do this. Let's see. +4 public opinion. Nice. The scribe notes down your demands on the scroll and heads off to action them. You have revoked the land tax. I'm going to do this early on as well, up to 60 gold per land only GM. So it's not that much gold we're giving up right now. But I think I'm still going to... And the question is, up to 110 gold per land. We could have the banking tax. I think this is only going to bring down our popular opinion by 1 or 2 tops and gives us a bit of money. The interesting thing is, if we now go back, let's ignore the other laws for now, we can at 9 visit the Royal Bank over here. And this also has a certain interest rate, which currently is 0.25% per year. Well, it's something. We have a bunch of money here. I'm actually going to withdraw all right now. So if we have a banking tax, this tax is actually going to be way less. So I wonder, we have 19,265 gold right now. That's interesting. Before we do this, let's have another look at the laws right now. So we have taxes and subsidies. Wait, what is my overall public opinion? It's only 29. Wasn't it 30 before? No, I actually gained some. Wow. Public opinion is something I want to have at least a 50, because 29 is so bad. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to leave us and join the rebels. And again, early on, we don't really have many men and we really need this. So let's see, recruitment and training. What am I going to do? Free enlistment, declare forceful enlistment. It's going to gain lots of passion each turn, but it's going to bring down our public opinion. Ah, this is hard. Let's see what else. Goblin policy. Goblin Scourge, pay 4 gold bounty per goblin head. If you want to get rid of goblins, sure, why not? Ban goblin slavery. I'm actually going to do this, because this should give us public opinion, yeah. The scribe notes down your demands on the scroll and heads off to action them. You have banned goblin slavery. The slavers have been jailed and the slaves have been freed across your lands. 27 goblins have come to serve you out of gratitude. That's good. That's kind of a trade-off, because, as I said earlier, we can buy goblin slaves to fight in our army. And goblin slaves are actually reasonably strong and super cheap. So I think they are as strong as a soldier, but cost only like a fifth or a sixth of the soldier money. So I could have bought a lot of goblin slaves, but I'm kind of trying to get my public opinion up, so that's the reason I do this. So +2 public opinion, and all goblin factions like us more. So I hope that other goblin factions are also going to attack us less, so that could be good. So we have more public opinion, at least gained 27 more soldiers in our army. Let's see, what other possibilities we have? Mercenaries. I don't care about mercenaries right now. This is we can hire mercenary companies to essentially have temporary, little armies in our, overall army, and send them to different things to attack them. But they're usually very expensive early on that I haven't really used them. I think you can also completely buy them to have them permanently, but mercenaries is something I haven't really figured out much. How about social policies right now, for example? We could go give out arms for the poor, which costs us 500 gold per year, but it would probably give us public opinion. We could also hire the love cult to increase public order, which probably would make people like us more as well, and maybe bring criminality down, because, yeah, they're too busy making love. 500 gold per year. I'm actually going to do this. Arms for the poor. +5 public opinion. Again, the scribe notes down your demands on the scroll and hands off to action them. You have declared arms for the poor. The people rejoice. That's nice. Again, we don't have many taxes going on, and now we are also paying 500 golds to the arms of the poor. At the end of the year, I'm probably going to lose a lot of money. This is a trade-off, because right now you have no slaves to free, so interesting as well. But yeah, I really want to get my public opinion up right now, because it's not good. 36 is still not where I want this. How about crime policies, by the way? Close the prison, set prisoners free. No. Declare mass execution. Declare rehabilitation law. Cost money. Keep prison population. No. Or allow overzealous arrest. Could be interesting if you want to go for more slave soldier route, more prisoners per turn, but probably it's going to influence my public opinion as well. And again, I kind of want people to love me right now. How about some celebrations? Declare a new celebration. I never did that. Let's actually do this. What will you name your newest celebration? Please enter the new name. No periods, full stops, dots, please. Okay, Goblin. It's the Goblins Independence Day. I don't know. This makes sense. We feed the goblins every 2 years. Yeah, sure. Just once this year. Every 2. Maybe just this once. I don't know if this costs money. What will happen during the celebration? Parade, sacrifices, free all slaves and prisoners, gifts and gold, large royal ceremony, people getting drunk, burning selected 0 of the parades, and people getting drunk. Burning celebratory fires. Sure. Let's make a huge party of this. Hopefully people will love this and will love me. Continue. Okay. Your scribe pulls out the scroll of celebration and prepares to make amendment. Cancel. Okay, let's hope during our transition of the next year, we have a big party and people love us more. Never did that before, actually. So we have also other policies. For example, we could award a bounty for every bandit head. We would pay a lot of money, but this would bring the overall criminality down. Also, longer harvest hours. If we really want to make passions work, we would earn more money. People would probably won't like this. I might even die because they overwork itself. We could forgive outlaws. Force everyone to wear hats. There we go, as I said earlier. Declare a different number for our current year, because we are the king. We can say it's not the year 134. It's the year 0 or the year 1, because I just became king, for example. And so on. You have no slaves or slave soldiers to set free. Quite a few options. These have been the laws. Let's actually do and visit the Grand Arena right now. Yeah, let's do some betting there. Wow, We spent so much time and I'm still trying to explain everything to you. You enter the Grand Arena, one of the core parts of your society. Here warriors battle and locals pay to watch. The arena is owned and No, actually before we do this... Oh, 3 gold entry. Yeah, Grand Arena. I want to show you guys arranged diplomacy. So we're going to go at the look at the 4. As you can see, your head diplomat all crawl appears before you impose. You begin to discuss possible diplomatic moves and actions with your neighbors. So we have the rebels, which will pretty much always hate us, I think. The bandit horde, we have 2 different goblin tribes. We have the independent territories, and that's the interesting thing. Our own Aslona militia. We have other normal tiny bandit groups. The difference, by the way, as far as I know, between the bandit groups and the bandit horde is the bandit horde is just very powerful and have a lot of territories, and the bandit groups are very individual ones, as you can see, pilfering otter ravens, and they have just very tiny amount of territories. And apparently, with one, we actually have a truce somehow. Interesting. And there's adventurer groups. There's also adventuring groups around. They have different names. They can be strong. They can be weak. And sometimes they help us. Sometimes they even attack our own patrols. So adventuring groups are annoying often. We have to keep that in mind as well. But now I want to show you guys the independent territories. Because these are the other kingdoms which have the other races. As you can see, there's 5 others right now. I think 5 is always the thing. So 5 completely different races. And we are at war with 3 of them. All of them are independent. Let's have a look at the Wasteland High Kingdom. And this is a race of Wasteland Elves. They have a total units of 1,315. Keep in mind, right now we have only like 480. So we are pretty weak. But luckily we have a faction relation of 9 actually. Let's have a look at the kingdom information. Let's see. So the Wasteland High Kingdom is made out of 1,315 troops and is led by High King Rock the Alcoholic 6. Interesting. Known for their great instinct and generally peaceful and isolationist nature, as a powerful race. Its people hail from harsh wasteland. Peaceful sounds very good. Isolationist, so they don't necessarily... They want to be on their own, right? So maybe we don't need to be at war with them. They are a civilized group. Their famed words are, "We fight how you perished." Interesting. They even might have an own currency, like they use red teal as their currency. They have red teal, a single red teal is worth a single gold coin. So there's a lot of lore and things. We can even see what the petty kings of the lands are, which are top. And let's actually have a look. There are a total of 4 petty kings protecting the realm of Wasteland High King. We can actually see and get the information of those. We can visit one of their crown, the crown of Wasteland High Kingdom, and can visit that and see what that is about. We can also get some leader information going. So High King Rock the Alcoholic has a lot of skill. 214 is actually quite a lot. He's unfortunately mercantile. That is bad. So the race itself is actually peaceful, but unfortunately not necessarily king. But how about we have a look at trade and diplomacy. So, Wasteland High Kingdom do not wish to speak to you as they are very xenophobic. That's bad. So we can't really talk to them right now. We could also declare war, but right now they don't really care about us. I'll take it. So more like a peaceful race, but unfortunately the king is not good. The race overall is also xenophobic. We might fight with them at one point. Who knows? How about Salazar? What kind of kingdom is this? Ooh, we have -3 relation, unfortunately. So they have only 4 lands, so less than us, 1, but they have a lot of units. 3,600. Offer peace. Requires the soldiers or mercenaries. So we're currently at war with these guys. These are confused edge mounts and mutants. What is that? We can actually look at their troop tree. Let's see. So they have... Confused Edge Mountains have a 50 battle score. Every unit has a battle score. They have so many units. There's going to be Confused Edge Brute Mutants and Confused Edge Monstrous Mutants. And we can compare them to our own. As you can see, our units are soldiers, which have a battle score of 100, and knights, which have a battle score of 150. So, and their basic tier unit, tier 1, is as strong as ours. Tier 2 and tier 3 are way stronger than ours. We have to keep that in mind. And of course, they have so many more units than us. We don't really want to fight with them, I would say. And again, you guys remember when I mentioned these evolved immortal fox beings from one of my previous runs? They were so strong that one of their tier 3 units, I don't know, had like a battle score of 2,000 to 3,000. That's what I mean. They didn't have that many units, but their individual battle score was so much higher. So, and I've read, and I don't know, some Steam discussions, so that sometimes there's races where they don't maybe have just 1 or 2 units, but those units have a battle score of like, I don't know, 50,000 each or so. So this race thing can be completely go haywire in a cool and not so cool way. So let's try to offer peace with these guys. Wait, before we do this, what about their leader information, by the way? Oh, Hagamon Amal Alibrath. He's a confused edge mutant, but he's luckily very friendly. I never had a kingdom information. What are these mutants about, actually? Known once as men, the mutants were turned into wretched monsters by the gods. Its people are often confused and mix up who their enemies and friends are, and its people live on the edge of huge and vast cliffs and ravines. They are a group of mostly civilized folk. Their faint words are, "Remember what we died for." Interesting. So that means maybe, even if we make friends with them, there might always be a chance that they attack us because they literally got confused that we are, and they think we are the enemies and not friends, maybe. Let's try to offer peace anyway. As you can see, I can send either a soldier, a knight, or my diplomat. Unfortunately, our starting diplomat doesn't really have a good points. So, as far as I can tell, individual counselors and so can have a point range from starting with 0 to like 200. If they're over 200, they're insanely good. Usually units are around 100 to 200. 100 is okay. 200, and the closer the 200, the better. Our starting diplomat, I think, has only 50 points, so he isn't very good. I mean, it's the old crow, right? I think our starting general, by the way, has like 170 or so. We might check this out in a second. So I'm going to send my knight, because he has high success. Let's go. So how's this gonna go? +2 chance to do colors as leader personality, which is friendly, nice, but -1 because our relationship is already a little bit negative. Let's see, maybe we're lucky. Your emissary carries your request for peace and is met by the ruler of Kalasar, Hegemon Maul Albrecht, who says, to make peace we ask for a nominal amount of gold. Pay us a were-guild of 150 and peace is yours. What is a were-guild? Let's ask this. One of your advisors informs you that a were-guild is a payment of blood money to cover damages to life and limb to another person. That's nice. Sometimes these kings will give you an absurd amount of gold. We are willing to make peace if you give us a were-guild of 28,000 gold or something like this. I once actually had one race tell me, okay, we're willing to make peace if you say we are good and you suck, essentially. Those were the precise words, but essentially making these guys, make out great as a public announcement, me as a king, and denounce myself. So that had an influence on my public opinion. That's fine. Let's pay this. 150 gold to make peace. Sounds good. Also, public opinion for peace, very good, +4, and the relation with these guys went up as well. So these guys right now won't attack us, which is pretty good. I do not wish to speak to you as they are very xenophobic. Interesting. Well, at least they don't have war anymore. So with these guys, there's no war. We still have the Circle of Cloud Protofolk. What are these guys about? Let's actually see Bronze Space. Let's make this a bit quick. What are these? Bronze Space Homunculi. Homunculi are a race of tiny malformed humanoids, far smaller than dwarves and halflings. They're known to cause trouble. Its people are said to have bronze skin. Its people are said to have hailed from space. Wow. Let's see the troop tree. Are these guys strong? Whelp is a little bit weaker than our, but 75, 145. The others are stronger than our units. Oh, wait. Soldier actually has a battle score of 100. Never mind. But, yeah, so a little bit weaker. How about the Cloud Protofolk? Oh, I think these guys, your head diplomat, Old Cruel, tells you that diplomatic actions with the Circle of the Cloud Protocol is not possible due to their lack of civility and savage nature. He confirms that they dislike us and see us an enemy. That's bad. Yeah, let's see, what are they about? Known as a race of pre-humans, these people live a primal and harsh life. They do not understand the surrounding world, but they will happily kill and eat anything inside it. Its people live in a high place to be among clouds. Cool. They believe in hate and suffering and are considered by many to be a force of evil. And they are savage. Kingdom, troop tree. Battle score is pretty okay. A little bit stronger, a little weaker than our. So nothing too outrageous so far. How about the Brown Tyranny, number 5? So these are Water Ashtaki. What is that? Kingdom Innovation. Known as isolated worshippers of spiders. Wow, the Ashtaki are a deadly force. They worship him, a great spider who lives with a planet which they see as a giant spider egg. Its people worship water. Interesting. They know what they saw. They think the world is a giant spider egg. Cool. Could also offer peace. Troop tree. Yep, these guys also a little bit stronger. So unfortunately, nothing outrageous. But yeah, these are now people who are worshipping water and spiders. So I feel like we were still somewhat lucky. These are still reasonable things that we encounter here. Trust me, it can go completely haywire. Like I said last time, like elephant people who have spider wings can fly, and those guys, I think the basic unit, which was like a whelp or a calp or something, had a battle score of like 250. And of course, tier 2 and tier 3 were way stronger as well. So we're 54 minutes in, and I only managed to show you guys the first area, but I still want to show you more. First off, recruit, sell, and disband troops. Let's keep it a bit faster here, keep it easy. I can hire units. Usually I want to early on hire peasants, actually, and because they are not that strong. But first off, they get automatically turned into soldiers, which are double as strong. And second off, all the peasants we have, they are working on the fields. They also don't cost money. They don't take a salary. They actually generate money. So having peasants usually is a good thing. I think I'm going to buy 100. Let's see. This is going to cost me 2,800 gold. You know what? I'm going to buy more. 29. So we're going to buy as many as we can in this round. We could also hire bandits. Problem is, bandits are decent fighters, but these bandits will also, in our name, raid other countries and other kingdoms, which generates us money, but the other kingdoms might not really appreciate this. So we have to keep that in mind. We can also hire goblin slaves, but of course I made this as bad law. This is banned, so we can't hire anyone. If I hadn't done this, I would be able to hire some goblins. And as you can see, later on we might get other options to hire goblins. The first one is only the one if we could buy them from a slaver, but maybe later on, maybe the other goblin kingdoms, or we find goblin settlements, which would offer us goblin units, which we would get here, for example. Okay, for now, let's exit this. I'm fine with this. We can also, let's see, recruit, sell, hire mercenary companies. I told you guys that earlier. We can manage our staff and champions. Champions are strong warriors, which we can hire. For example, the grand champion of the arena could be one of our champions. And they will be very strong, essentially like hero units in the different combats. We have our head diplomat, which again, he has a skill of 50. That's not good. We can train him. Let's do this. We could also just fire him. We could hire another one. Every time we try to hire one of these people listed here, we get a choice of 3 per year, which we can choose from. They have different personality, different stats, so that could be interesting. Spy Master usually is something good I like to have. And our High General, again, as I said, this guy has at least a skill of 100, which is decent. Let's also train him. We can ask these guys for hints, for tips. As you can see, we have a lot of options. We can also just replace our Kingdom's guard helmets. Sometimes a court visitor also tells us, I have a new design for a cool helmet for all your guards. How about you pay me for that? So options are definitely there. And what else do we have? Arranged diplomacy. I showed you this. Managed staff, changed all the lands. Let's actually have a quick look at kingdom upgrades. I want to go at military buildings. And usually what I like early on is very expensive, but I want to try heavy defense palisades. Because people early on are really trying to raid us, and these walls help us. We can also bring up some recruitment signs. I'll right-click this. Whoops, what did I do there? Let's go with that. So we're gonna pay, but up to 1 extra soldier recruited per land owned each year. Nice, slightly less people visiting to join you in the throne room. Has an effect like this as well. Militia recruitment sign, let's go with that as well. Extra militia. The others are too expensive right now. We have 3.8k cold guilds. Emissary hut, if we want to have more diplomats, we can send out per turn. Nice. Productivity buildings, I can't afford anything. I'm kind of poor. Arena buildings. Well, as you can see, Grand Champions Quarters, Monument to Champion, 10k each. Can't afford this. Recruitment buildings. Let's see, what do we have here? Nobility post. Only 150 gold, and it gives us a 5% chance to recruit a knight each turn. Yeah, let's get this 150 ski, 300 is as well. Okay, so we have at least right now a 33% chance. No, not quite. I think the nobility quarters will be that. You can buy a goblin hut. So 1 in 3 chance of a goblin joining each turn. Sure, let's go with that. Free potato sign if we want to lure in goblins and they would then be captured by the slavers. 50% more goblin captured by slavers. Well, we're not going to do that, but it's still interesting. Income buildings. What do we have here? Tribute collection box. So plus 5% tribute for tributary location. I think that applies to the mining where we demand tribute from. So yeah, let's get this. 5% more. The earlier the better. Extra money, right? Other buildings. As you can see, we can really build a lot here. We can also wooden climbing picks. Climbing knights are more likely to succeed. Haven't encountered that event yet, but apparently if we send our knights to climb something, they probably die or something, probably because, well, they're in heavy armor, right? There's a library, artifact help, we can find artifacts later, also destroy discovered artifacts. There's a lot here. What I usually like is also, I think, in income buildings early on to get advanced trade, or like little tax of increased tax income by 10%, and there's something also that our peasants earn more money and so options are definitely there. Visit the Royal Bank. We could also, take a loan, pay back the loan, deposit others to get in interest. We can also visit other buildings, which is right now, for example, the prison. We can visit the Goblin Hut. And of course, if we have discovered other towns, we can also discover them and talk to people there and drink with them and get some secrets over there. There's so much. But one thing I really want to show you guys is the visit the Grand Arena. I'm probably getting loose here, which usually we can bet you. Again, first off, let's go to the Grand Champion, number 3. And I want to see this guy fight. Sylvanas the Boat is the current Grand Champion of Aslona. Having recently assumed the title, he has no wins to his name, but will soon fight his debut fight as Grand Champion. Sure. So every time, we can only do this once per year. If we bet in a Grand Champion fight, we can win double our bet. Let's see this. But usually these are a bit harder because we can only make out their current strong thing by their title. And as well, there's a lot of luck involved here. Sometimes people can get a critical hit. Sometimes there's a warlock in the arena who just randomly throws in a fireball, which can instantly destroy or very much hurt contestants. But early on, usually if you know the different types that are in the world, and if you are lucky and you have like super strong units like immortal evolved foxes, where they're probably very easy to dispatch a normal soldier, because we know a soldier has a battle score of 100 and this evolved fox has a battle score of 2000. Those things can be easy money. I'm not sure if we can have it there, but let's bet a bit on this Grand Champion. How about, I don't know, not much right now. 243 gold. Maybe double what we gain. So the crowd chant in near unison, while the fighters emerge from the gates and pass towards each other, weapons in hand. The crowd roars as the fighters near each other and the fight begins. Okay, let's see. Sylvanas the Boats get a loud strike on Clothy the Silver Tongue. So their stat of Sylvanas is 311 HP. Clothy has only 127, so might be that we're lucky here. Sylvanas seems to be pretty strong. The crowd cheers for Sylvanas the Boat. Sylvanas the Boat swings for Clotry the Silver-Tongued, but slightly misses. Sylvanas the Boat kicks Clotry the Silver-Tongued over. Nice. Sylvanas the Boat swings for Clotry. Man, Sylvanas is really pressuring this guy. The other guy doesn't even get a chance, but slips and misses. Dang it. Clotry the Silver-Tongued gets a very sharp and well-placed strike on Sylvanas. Oh no! 46 HP. That's fine. Sylvanas the Boat swings and steps Clotry the Silver-Tongued hard. Nice. Sylvanas the Boat and Clotry the Silver-Tongued get caught in a parry. Sylvanas the Boat manages to just slightly break the parry and get a good hit. Nice! Clotry the Silver-Tongued will never breathe again. The mighty Grand Champion has successfully defended his style, then leaves in victory and glory. So the Sylvanas won, and we now gain 486 gold from our bet, so double that. We can also see the Grand Champion statistics. So strength of 175 is 605. That's okay. We can view his residence, his title, his backstory. We can talk to him. We can actually try and ask him if he wants to become one of our personal champions. Yeah, let's go with this. Can we hire him? Sylvanas the Boat, thank you for the offer, but says he would prefer not to. Ah, dang it. fine. We could also force him, but that would probably bring our public opinion down. And we can bet at normal fights in the arena, which is essentially the same, but we earn only 50% more money if we win. So we could go, and this is usually where you want to pay attention to the different things. Confused Edge Monstrous Mutant, Invader Confused Edge Mutant. So along these titles, you usually have an overall idea of the battle score, and the higher the battle score, the higher the chance you win. But there's also a random chance every time. Sometimes an easy pageant has an instant critical hit on a knight and instantly kills him, for example. That can happen. It's always a gamble. But sometimes it's also easy when you have, for example, a heroic immortal knight facing a simple knight, for example. You know, okay, this knight is a hero, is heroic and immortal. Probably way stronger than, or maybe like a clumsy knight, for example. So there's a lot of titles here that have an influence. Right now, I have no idea. So I'm just going to bet 183 gold. Let's see. They fight, but the more often you more you play in this world, the more you learn about these different types, and the more chance you have to bet here and earn money. Luckily, I betted at the one with more HP, but they're pretty close. And I was lucky, there was a crit. I accidentally skipped this, but hey, we won some gold. And usually this is my number one thing to make gold early on. I'm betting pretty much everything. Let's actually do it once more, because I see my overall bet limit. Goblin Marauder, Cloud Primitive Stick Wielder. Primitive doesn't sound so nice. Goblin Marauder. Stick Wielder doesn't sound that cool as well. Let's try maybe the Goblin Marauder. As you can see, I only have a maximum bet limit of 5,474 right now. This declines every time. If I now bet money, this I think earlier on was probably 5,000 because we already did 2 bets. So this is gonna go down, but it's gonna only increase because we didn't tax gambling. Otherwise, it would be way smaller. Or maybe it's only being set up next year. But yeah. That is the correlation, and usually a good money maker on him. For fun, let's bet 1,171. Maybe I'm lucky. Who knows? The crowd roars. Let's see how this is gonna go. I have a bad feeling. Goblin Marauder has actually less HP, but let's see. So 18 HP. I'm gonna skip this a bit. Oh, the Goblin Marauder. Sometimes that's a thing, by the way, as well, which you can see by the stats. Maybe sometimes units have less HP, but are way more likely to hit enemies. Also, kind of depends on their stats. It seems like Goblin Marauder, yeah, actually won. We won 50% more money. Nice. So usually I would now spend all this money. Let's actually do this recurrent. Why not? Hire units. I'm gonna hire a bunch of soldiers. As many as I can. 52. Spend all my money. I still hope that at the end of the year, even though I don't really take many taxes, public opinion is also only 40, I still make a net positive from the basic taxes and other things I make money from. I hope so. Because this is, again, I haven't even really shown you the main meat of the game. Kinda I did, but kinda didn't. Because now let's end the current year. Because what happens then? Now, it's actually time for what this game is called. War! We have to go out there and fight people. We actually, 689 men isn't that much. And now we can attack someone and hopefully gain territory, or just raid people, or make others weaker. For example, let's keep it even, let's keep it simple, let's keep it easy. Probably just wanna fight some bandits. Let's attack the Pilfering Otter Ravens, a bandit group. So what about those? General Goran Pagana, good, the Pilfering Otter Raven is a scourge and must be stopped. How shall we attack them? Well, let's actually gain some information on 4. So what does our diplomat tell us? They have a fair bit of territory behind them. 9 lands that we would need to capture before their main camp. Interesting. So we would have would need at least 9 years to completely annihilate them. But this is also an idea, because this counts for the enemy, but also for us when we get attacked. All the troops of a kingdom will be equally divided between all lands, which means if these guys, for example, have 900 units, we currently again have only 680. That sounds impressive, right? But we can technically attack with all 680 of our units. So if they have 900, if we attack one of their territory, there would only be 100 units defending them. So we have probably a chance to win this. But of course, this also counts for us. If you have currently only 680 units, and right now I only have 5 territories. So Those would be split by 5, so what is this? 130, roughly 120, a little bit more, but you know what my meaning. So we have to keep that in mind. The more units we have, the more units we can also split between our territories to defend them, hopefully successful. Because we can only also get attacked by 500 units at one country, so... yeah, we have to keep that in mind. They have barely any gold in their coffers, so if we raided them, we couldn't expect much loot. Good to know. So again, usually, that is what I mean. We can skirmish them. Quick battle with the least chance of casualties. This is actually very important. This is safe. Usually it's on the open field we're fighting them. And this can be important if you want to weaken certain enemies before we start to invade them. When we know, for example, these bandits have 2,000 units, so there's gonna be, and they have 5 lands, so there's gonna be, 500 units in one land. That's a lot to defend one. Let's skirmish them to whittle them down so that their overall army is going to have less units, which on a later year it's easier for us to attack them. We can also raid them, which is a little bit more dangerous, but we gain money if there's some, and invade. Well, we have the highest reward that we can gain in land, which we want. But technically, every time we invade, but that also counts for us, there's a 25 or 50% chance battle score increase, essentially, or chance increase. Well, there's a defender value. Let's go with that. Invade. Let's see. How about telling? I actually show you. Right now, I'm going to send all of my troops in there. Let's hope this works. My lord, do you wish to watch the battle? Yeah, we want to watch the battle. Let's see. A cloud-filled sky adorns the battlefield. Do you wish to launch the attack or wait a while in the hope of more favorable weather? No, send the army forth. By the way, there's also chaos orbs, so magical artifacts that when we have them, we can fling into the air to change the weather. Hopefully to something good or even to something worth. So that's one of those use if we have those. And again, if I had these magical apples I told you guys earlier on, I could now essentially dope my army to get some extra battle score. Let's send my army forward. This is what I mean. No weather events during battle due to calm weather, interesting, but 50% invasion defense battle strength score for the pilfering otter ravens. Because we can attack one of the strongholds. They have the defense advantage because we're attacking tiny castle or something, I don't know. Let's see. Beneath the cloud-filled sky, your army marches forward to meet their arrival. A few of your men appear to break ranks, but it's a trick. Luring the enemy out of formation, your men charge forward. Nice, 10% initial battle strength score. That's important, that's very good. You manage to break through pilfering otter raven's center before forcing them back in. So again, this is just turn-based and every time a dice roll. But it's still very fun, so we can't really influence much here besides looking, and again it's just a dice roll from time to time, and this can be very good, sometimes very bad, but yep, it's a flavor thing. Now we can only watch, so we lost a bit, but we lost like 7 soldiers, 20 peasants, 1 goblin, so 28 units, but they lost 85 units, so good initial start, nice. Let's go again. On the edge of the battlefield, a tall tree falls down and hits a part of the battlefield held by pilfering otter ravens. Nice. 10 enemies defeated and we didn't lose anything. Cool. Let's go again. Next one. Oh, you notice a cave gnome at the foot of the tree that fell. He gives a thumbs up and says, Bongles the Great sends his regards. Nice. Apparently we have Bongles the Great as a friend. Don't even know who that is, but cool. No one side can take the advantage, but both fight on with equal force and attempt to crush the other. Okay, we lost 30 units, they lost 22. Not that good. Let's go. You break through the lines and manage to push pilfering otter ravens back a little. That's good. They lose 37, we lose 28. So a little bit better for us. The fighting rages on, but no one gains the advantage. We lose 34, they lose 34. There's still 3 Fs. The two sides fight, but now they seem to gain the upper hand and both fight on. Okay, we still win this, but we lost quite a decent amount. Yes! So the otter ravens, the bandits like us less. What a surprise. We killed a bunch of their units, men, and we took one of the lands. But that's good as us, because we have more territory now. Let's actually have a quick look at this battle report. So overall we won. The bandit group lost 270 troops. We lost 150. So kind of even, but again we won. We got territory, but we only have 439 troops right now, which is not a lot actually. That's kind of bad. Okay, that's our 1 attack per year. Let's stop viewing battle reports. What else happens this year? My lord, we are under attack from bandits. Do you want to watch the battle attack? So we get attacked. Let's actually do this quickly. And this is what I told you guys earlier. You have 450 men total and 6 lands. Your men are spread equally across the lands, and so 89 defenders guard this one. The militia have sent 10 troops to assist the defense. Well, so at least we have 99, but that's not much. Let's see, a foggy night sky shrouds the battlefield before the two armies clash. Moderate likelihood of weather events during battle. Okay, let's see. And as you can see, we got attacked by 586 units. And we lost instantly. Wow, that's bad. And those were just bandits. Wow, we got destroyed. Did we actually lose a kingdom? I don't think we did. Because otherwise the game would have told us that we lost a kingdom. Interesting. Maybe they just skirmished us, but that's pretty bad anyway. We lost units so badly. And yeah, luckily we only got attacked once, even though we lost that completely. Now we have a kingdom report. You receive a report of the goings on in the last year. You can read through it in detail, look at more simplified version, or create and view your own custom. I'm gonna do the simple report, and again we can actually do the detailed report. Why not? So this is all that happened. First off, very good. Your treasury has increased by 1,200 gold. Very nice. I mean, frankly, I would have, if I played privately, I would have done that year a bit different. So I guess it would have been better. This is just a showcase. But good thing is, this is a net positive. I always want to have a net positive at the end. Let's see. You receive 340 gold in tributes from the Harline Mining Company. Nice. 897 gold from General Taxes. Still a decent amount. Your peasants earn you 260 gold from this year's harvest. You enlist 27 soldiers from your 6 land. Yeah, we actually didn't lose a land. Nice. We just lost like 99 lives. Your knights train 10 peasants into soldiers. Good to know. And wages, you've 50 to Old Crow, 70 to our High General, 155 to our soldiers, 6 to our knights. We only have like 4 knights or so that's fine. I guess 3, probably knight just gets 2 gold or so. Maybe we have just 1. Diplomat training has increased Old Scroll's guild by 4, nice. I think usually, again, as I said earlier, usually replace Old Scroll for a diplomat who has at least 100. If good, probably more. Let's see what else happens though. Your alms for the poor help many of the lowest folk. The people are pleased. Your heavy defense patriots managed to prevent 5 raids from everything. Yeah. Again, we could have been attacked 5 more times. We would have lost so much. And some other general information like the different militia recruits 55 new Persians. The different adventure guilds get more people and so on. Other Savannah's the boat defeated Clothy the Silver Tongue. We learned that actually. Battle report, we invaded the lands, the bandit defeated you in a skirmish, yeah, that's bad. Another thing, actually not that much happened this year. Okay, but usually you get also way more information if you have a spy master. I don't have one. So let's make anything else, and there we go. Move on, we're back in this menu. This is usually that. We played 1 hour. I should try to showcase you this in a easy fashion. It was a lot. There's a lot of options here, and I still feel like I skipped pretty much more than half of it. And now again, we have 17 visitors in our court. We can watch 20 fight in the arena. We can bet on every single fight. We can explore 3 more times into west, east, south, and so on. And buy more companies, attack, hire more guards, territory people. So what happened? It's a new turn. And then we could also end the current year, attack a new country, look at us attacks. This is the gameplay loop. It's one of these really just one more turn. And it keeps happening because then you get attacked and I want to have revenge. I'm going to attack those. And the rebels took one of my lands. Oh, I'm going to skirmish them to really make them weak. They're my main target now. And so on and so on. And I get attacked by those and here. And I want to explore more lands. Or what this is about. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Warsim. Realms of Aslona. Warsim is a game which is a single-person project, which as far as I know has been in development for 8 years, started as a hobby project, currently has over 1,000 reviews with an overall score of overwhelmingly positive. I also think, frankly, if you've watched this video now so far, over an hour, of me just showcasing the most basic thing here, you're probably already very much intrigued to give this a try. It really is one of these very simple game, simple in quotation marks, but still very insanely complex games, which just is, again, just one more turn, and it just gives you so much flavor. And what happens in the court, the characters you meet, the things you do, even though it's so simple yet complex, and it's so amazing, in my opinion, to enrich this idea of theater of mind. You really can tell your own story by the things that happen, by the things you do, and I think that's why so many people love this. It's a little bit hard to get into, I think. It can be easily confusing and overwhelming. And I guess the best idea is to just approach it step by step. You can't really do much wrong. You can just try and you keep learning. The game that's the cool thing about the game, even though it's so complex and can be so overwhelming. It's not that completely punishing, and by just looking at it, it really teaches you the different mechanics and how this works in a natural way. That's how I played. I started my kingdom, played like, oh god, what the hell is going on? Played like 2-3 years and scrapped it all together because I thought, oh god, what's happening? Now I actually understand so much more, as I was just blindly tapping through the game early on. And then I did another run, played like to year 5, then another run, played to like year 10, then another run, played even more years. And I guess once I end this video, I'm probably gonna do another run soon, which will probably end at year 20 or so, and so on, until I finally get to the place where the demon evaders and what happens there. Oh, wait, one thing first. Well, I guess I'm actually kind of skipping my final impression because I think you guys know that I really like this, but I want to show you one thing because I learned one thing. How do I do this? I can end current year. Good point. I wish to see this mother. Oh, yes, when I had to know the project. Wait, move to unknown. Wait. Wait, guys. This is important. I want to go to my throne room. I want to get to the main menu. How do I not get to the main menu? Game saves. Quit the disturb. Save game. Game stats. Extras. Exit. What am I doing wrong? Let's do something. Throne room. I want to go back to the main menu. This is very important right now. Retire from ruling the realm. Let's do this. Yeah, I'm sure. Let's see. You have died as you walk to your chamber at night. You collapse to the floor. Your skin bleeds and your eyes melt in your face. You are dead by the time you are found. It is later discovered by a scholar looking through ancient tomes that you have died of a disease not seen for over 1,000 years. Interesting. And overall stats, cool. Would you like to find out what happened in your realm after your reign ended? Interesting. I never had a look at that. It might be very important. But I don't want to spoil myself. This could be interesting for future runs. No, who cares? I'm dead. Yeah. Quit to disturb. Okay. I kind of hope there was a menu to go back to the main menu. Welcome. This is my main screen. Let's do this. So what I tried, I'm probably this is gonna be completely useless. I want to do this, 666. Why do I want to type this in this number? Because I think, if I recall this right, I once had met someone somewhere in this world and who told me, if you type in 666 in the main menu, that was kind of like underlying fourth wall breaking, something happens. So I have no idea what happens now. I actually hope something happens, because I think I've learned that in one of my runs. Let's hope something happens. Something happens! Nice! Ooh. Created by Hugh Milward, the Realm of Aslona.Warsim. Welcome to Demon Overlord Sim! Create a new world for the Warlord to destroy. Load an existing world under siege by the Overlord. Instantly spawn a new world of souls to slay. Fiddle with the options and settings. Spawn content that will never be seen again. Report back and torture the game developer. Ooh. Visit the wretched community. View your terribly low scores. Express your displeasure at the front side. Flee to the mortal realm. So we could now create... I'm not sure if this is just different or if we would now start as the Demon Lord. You know what? I'm not gonna spoil that. I'm actually very happy. Welcome to Demon Overlord Sim. Maybe that's a thing. Maybe we can be the Demon Overlord. Cool. This is something I learned through exploring the game. This is probably one of these very few, hidden secrets, cheats. I don't know. I'm very happy that this is actually something happened. You can't know how embarrassed I would have been and how scared I was if nothing would have happened now, if I misremembered. That makes me happy. Okay, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Warsim, check it out. I think if you are up for this type of game, you're gonna love it. It's really one of these just more monotone games where you just suddenly look at the watch, you played for a few hours, shit, it's the next day, and the next morning already, haven't slept all night. And this is one of these things I missed. I'm 30 years old now. I love games when I actually lose track of time. And that's it. It's a lose track of your time game because you really can sink into yourself. It's so simple, yet so engaging, so intriguing. Check it out. I wholly recommend this. Thank you very much, truly, for watching. Consider sharing this video if you think others might enjoy this type of game as well. If you think you can torture them with 1 hour and 20 minutes of this weird content from me. I'm the Overlord. We're gonna see each other in the next video. Stay awesome.